Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Pokemon Battle Series, the School of Hard Knocks. Throughout this episode, like every other, we'll be playing under the Global Link Battle Spot ladder under the Championship Series rules, which are the equivalent rule set of the VGC 2017 season. So, we're going to just hop straight on to the Battle Spot, and I should probably plug in my capture card. It would probably help for you guys to see that. So, yeah, we're going to hop straight onto the battle spot using the same team we've used yesterday and Monday, which is the Garchomp, Talonflame, Kartana, Tapu Fini, Nihilego, and Vikavolt. So, we had a couple of alright games yesterday. We had a bit of a bad start with that big critical hit in game 1. We had a disconnect game 2, which is a bit unfortunate, so sorry about that, guys. But we pulled it back game 3, so hopefully we can kind of continue that today with another couple of good games. As I say, I do have a new team in the works, so expect a team review video very soon with that new team. So it is a Trick Room orientated team. It's a bit of a hybrid, but there's some interesting Pokemon on there, so hopefully you guys will enjoy it. And as I say that, we get our first opponent. So they are running a team of Nihilego, Hariyama, Garchomp, Celesteela, Smeagol, and Porygon 2. So not very often we see Smeagol this season, but it's a good Pokemon, and I think it does have potential in its metagame, so it'll be interesting to see how it's utilized within my opponent's team here. We've obviously got not too much of a Trick Room mod. Maybe with that Smeagol and the Hariyama, the Celesteela will obviously take advantage of that, but if we lead Tapu Fini, we obviously need to be very careful about the Nihilego and Celesteela, so we need to make sure we're kind of covering those slots. So, and we need a good switch in as well. So I think I will lead Tapu Fini, just because the misty terrain does prevent the Smeagol from putting anything to sleep. And I think I'll go with Tapu Fini and let's think. I don't really want to lead the Talonflame just because of the Nihilego, to be honest. So I might lead. What am I going to bring here? Let's think. I'll bring Garchomp, Kartana, and I'm going to bring my Vikavolt. So we'll lock in with those before the time runs out. I had a bit of a mind blank there, and I'm think too much sometimes about team preview and to think about what individual Pokemon do rather than think about what the collective Pokemon can do together and what my opponent's strategy is trying to be. And that's all you're trying to work out in team preview. You're working out what their 6 Pokemon kind of are attempting to do in battle, and you countering that to a certain point. So anyway, we're going to lead off with Tapu Fini, Garchomp, and we're going to see my opponent lead off with the Porygon and Hariyama. So I'd imagine that the Hariyama will go for a fake out, probably straight onto the Tapu Fini, and we've got to expect maybe an Ice Beam to come out from the Porygon 2. It does get an attack boost through the download ability, but I think what I'll do here, I will just go for a Calm Mind, and the thing is I could attack with Garchomp into the Porygon 2 just to get some damage off onto it, but the Porygon 2, should I? We are Salt Vested, so we will be able to take an Ice Beam. It's just whether I want to take an Ice Beam for the cost of not very much damage in return, and I expect the Trick Room to kind of come out. So I think just in preparation for that, I'm going to switch in my Vikavolt into my Garchomp slot and go for a Calm Mind with my Tapu Fini. So I'm just playing a bit precarious here, and we'll see what my opponent actually ends up doing. So we see the Hariyama go for the fake out. Yep, onto the Tapu Fini as we expected, and the Porygon 2 is going straight for the Trick Room. So this isn't too bad. I mean, not many Hariyamas carry a rock type move, so I shouldn't be too threatened by the Hariyama with my Vikavolt. So what I might do, let's see what my opponent actually could have in the back to bring in. Maybe the Celesteela, but he's not going to bring the Celesteela in this situation, so I think I'm just going to get a Calm Mind off with my Tapu Finny. Or should I protect, expecting a knockoff onto it to knock the leftovers off and just get some damage onto the... No, I am going to go for a Calm Mind. Just to get Calm Mind up. And I'm going to go for a Bug Buzz onto the Porygon 2. Just to start getting some damage onto that straight away. So we'll see what my opponent kind of comes off with. Vikavolt is the fastest thing in the Trick Room, so we will get that first. Bug Buzz onto the Porygon 2, doing not too bad damage. As we expected, we see the knockoff, but actually onto the Vikavolt slot, so we do lose our Citrus Berry there. Porygon 2 is going to go for the T-Bolt onto the Finny, take us down to about 50% health, but we will get a Calm Mind off, so we're sitting in not too bad a position, really. So this next turn, I think, just to stall out the Trick Room, I'm going to protect with my Finny and just get a little bit more health back with that leftovers while I can before we get knocked off. And I think I will go for I'll go for another Bug Buzz onto the Porygon 2 because that should put it close enough to, and maybe in range depending on the next roll, of another Bug Buzz picking up the KO there. So let's see what my opponent kind of comes back at me with this turn. But at the minute, we're just kind of concentrating on getting that Tapu Fini powered up and just stalling out the Trick Room turns. At the same time, obviously, we've got to make sure that we're trying to chip down the Porygon 2 because we don't want to allow it getting another Trick Room up. So we'll get the Protect off with our Tapu Fini. We will get another Bug Buzz off onto the Porygon 2. And it's doing not too bad damage, and we get another Trick Room. So the Porygon 2 has actually reversed the Trick Room this turn. We will recover a little bit of damage, health back, sorry, with our Tapu Fini through the leftovers. But I'm wondering now if I just go for Muddy Water. Do I expect that Nihilego to be sashed? Because we should get Muddy Water off with the Tapu Fini. Yeah, I think what I'll do, I'll double into the Nihilego with the Muddy Water and the Thunderbolt, and hopefully after a Calm Mind, it might be enough to take it out. See the Nihilego go for the Sludge Bomb onto the Fini. Oh, we just survive. So, and we see it's Life Orbed. So as long as this hits, and it does, we should be able to pick up the KO this turn onto that Nihilego. Get the Muddy Water off. Yeah. Porygon 2 goes for a recover, so it means Tapu Fini is going to be sticking around for another turn, which is great. And we will get the T-Bolt off, which should pick up the KO onto the Nihilego now. Yeah. So that's great. So we get rid of one big threat to the Tapu Fini straight away. We'll recover a little bit of health back through our leftovers, and I would expect the Hariyama to possibly come back in here. So we'll see what my opponent actually goes for. So we're not in Trick Room either anymore, so we've got to keep that in mind. Oh, come on. My opponent thinking very hard through what he's going to bring in next. And this game's by no means close to being finished either. So yeah, in comes the Hariyama. So we've got to be careful about the fake out. Obviously, I think my opponent gets a Trick Room off, you see. I'm not in the best of positions with my Tapu Fini. He'll get the fake out off onto it, and then the next turn he'll still be outspeeding. So I wonder whether it's actually worth me just sacking it this turn and going for a Bug Buzz onto... So I'm going to actually go for that. I'm going to go for the Moonblast onto the Hariyama, and I'm going to go for a Bug Buzz onto the Porygon 2. Just expecting him to set up the Trick Room. Hariyama goes for the fake out onto my Vikavolt, so expecting the Protect onto my Tapu Fini, so I will get away with this turn and pick up the KO onto the Hariyama, so that's quite nice. We do get a critical hit there. I don't know if it mattered too much, we're on +1. Vikavolt does flinch, but Porygon 2 sets up another Trick Room, so we got into another turn of Trick Room. We do manage to pick up a bit more health with our Tapu Fini, just recover a bit of HP back, but the Misty Terrain actually disappears from the field. So if that Smeagol does come in now, we are in a bit of trouble. But it is a Celesteela, so this isn't too bad. Now, I would expect my opponent to probably double in to my Vikavolt here, or potentially protect the Celesteela, and I don't want to allow the Celesteela to get to get a substitute up if it is carrying that. I'm just going to go for a Muddy Water with my Tapu Fini, and I'm going to go for a Thunderbolt into the Celesteela. I really need to start kind of chipping that down as soon as I can, really. Celesteela does go for the Protect. So what we're going to see this Porygon 2 go for. Porygon 2 is going to go for a Tri-Attack into the Vikavolt. So we will get a Muddy Water off here. And we do survive the Tri-Attack from the Porygon 2. And we get an accuracy drop onto the Porygon 2, which is really great. So this next turn I am going to protect my Fini, and I'm going to go for a T-Bolt onto the Celesteela, just to get, as I say, get some damage onto that for Garchomp to come in when the Trick Room ends. Hopefully get put it into Fire Fang range to pick up the KO there. So we do get the T-Bolt off onto Celesteela, do big damage, doing about 70% damage. Porygon 2 goes for the Tri-Attack and will pick up the KO onto Vikavolt, and we will see what the Celesteela is going to go for. Heavy Slam into the Tapu Lele, so that's straight into the Protect, and the Celesteela gets a little bit of health back through its leftovers, and we will do the same with our Tapu Fini. So, what can we do now? I'm tempted to bring in my Kartana and potentially get off a Bloom Doom to kill that Porygon 2, to be honest. Because if that Celesteela hasn't got Flamethrower, let's say the Celesteela has Flamethrower, it'll have to target down the Kartana. We should now be in enough range with our Tapu Fini to survive an attack from the Porygon 2, pending crits and things like that, so we should get a Muddy Water off. So I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for the Bloom Doom to get rid of the Porygon 2 and just Muddy Water with my Tapu Fini and see how we get on with that. Porygon actually goes for the Recover. Celesteela goes for the Heavy Slam, which will unfortunately pick up the KO on Fini, but it's put in so much work this game, and we will get a Bloom Doom off. Celesteela will get a Beast Boost on its special defense side, which isn't going to matter too much with the Pokemon that we've got left. We will get a Bloom Doom off onto this Porygon 2. So let's see how much this does. I'd imagine, I'm kind of hoping it does around 70%. That would be great if it does around that. Oh, communication lost with other trainer. Oh, don't say I've dropped out again. That'd be terrible. So Bloom Doom does a massive chunk of damage. Celesteela restores a little bit of its health, and we drop out. That is super unfortunate, but it wasn't my end this time, guys, so there is that. That is a bit disappointing. I think we had one more turn of Trick Room after that, so what I would have done is probably protected my Kartana the next turn. The Porygon 2 might have went for a Protect, and I would have just went for the Fire Fang, which should have picked up the KO onto the Celesteela. Maybe not, but put it in range. Trick Room would have ended, and then I could have just kind of tried to wear down my opponent that way, but I definitely think we had a good chance to win that game. That is super unfortunate. Sorry this keeps happening, guys. Like I said, it wasn't my fault this time. It wasn't my internet. I did check before I started the video, funny enough. But we'll go on to game 2 and we'll see how we get on there. And without saying anything else, we get our next opponent from the United States with a team of Mandibuzz, Porygon 2, Alolan Sandslash, Snorlax, Alolan Ninetales, and Tapu Lele. So, super interesting team here with the Hail, slight Hail core anyway, with the Alolan Ninetales and Alolan Sandslash. have to keep in mind that that Alolan Sandslash can take advantage of the hail straight away, so we need to be aware of that. Now, what are we going to do? I think Finny is a really good lead here, and yeah, Finny and Kartana maybe, and that's what I'm kind of going for at the minute, so I think I will go for both of those. What are we going to bring in the back though? Definitely has a Trickery mod with the Snorlax and the Porygon too, so that's something else that we need to be aware of. I think I might bring the Vikavolt. The Vikavolt. Oh, yeah, the Vikavolt might be actually not too bad here. And do I want to bring Garchomp? Because Garchomp is pretty hard countered against, well, everything he's got apart from the Mandibuzz really, and the Snorlax, which you're not going to be hitting too hard anyway. So, let's think. I'm going to lock in with the Garchomp. I just feel like the Garchomp just covers a lot of bases, so it offers a lot of speed when the hill ends, if we can get that far anyway. So we'll see how we get on. I'd fully expect my opponent to maybe lead with that Ninetales and Alolan Sandslash as well, but we'll see what happens. Ninetales seems to have kind of really dropped off its usage stats recently. I've seen hardly any compared to when we kind of first started the series, and it was like Ninetales, Ninetales, Ninetales all the time. So my opponent does lead off with the Ninetales and the Alolan Sandslash. We'll get the hail up, and the Sandslash will straight away get take advantage of its Slush Rush ability, which doubles its speed in hail. So what can we expect here? I'd maybe expect an Aurora Veil from the Ninetales. I think I'm going to just go for a Carmine with my Finny, and my opponent could just go for just a Blizzard, and that will do a good chunk of damage to my Kartana. I kind of want to keep my Kartana. I don't really have many switch-ins here. I think I will go for a sub with my Kartana. I'm just going to sub up. If I can get a sub off, that would be brilliant. Sandslash goes for the Icicle Sphere onto my Kartana. Hopefully it doesn't get all 5 hits. It's going to be 3, 4. It's going to be 5, isn't it? Oh no, it is 4. So as long as that Ninetales doesn't attack, we should be able to get the sub up, which we do. So, and we get the Aurora Veil. But we're mightily close to being in range of hail just taking us down. So we have to be very careful of that. I think here I'm going to have to try and prioritize getting rid of that. I maybe should have just went for the Smart Strike, really, onto the Ninetales or the Sandslash. So I think what I will do here is go for Muddy Water, try and get some damage off onto everything, and there's no point of protecting my Kartana because it's going to just go down to hail damage next turn, so I may as well just try and get a Smart Strike off onto this Ninetales. Sandslash actually protects, which is good news for us. The Ninetales goes for the Freeze Dry onto my Finny. Does alright damage. We get the Smart Strike off on the Ninetales, so as long as Muddy Water hits, we will pick up the KO, which would be brilliant. But it's not even sashed. Oh, wow. So the Ninetales go straight down, so we need to keep that in mind. Something else on my opponent's team may be sashed. We will unfortunately lose our Kartana here to the hail residual damage, which is super unfortunate. We just didn't need to sub. But we didn't know that at the time. It was maybe, I don't know. Maybe foresight is a thing to think, you know. I do not want to bring the Garchomp in here, so I'm going to bring in my Vikavolt. And our kind of main priority now is getting rid of that Sandslash. It has just protected the previous turn, so it can't protect again. So hopefully we can get at least a couple of attacks off onto it, which should be enough to kind of take it out. And then once the Alolan Sandslash and the Ninetales are down, at least Garchomp's a bit safer to come onto the field and start doing some work. So we bring out our Vikavolt, and we're going to see the almighty Snorlax come out. Okay. Right, okay. So I'm just going to go for Muddy Water again, and like I said, I am just going to stick to my plan, and I'm going to just double into the Sandslash with a T-Bolt and a Muddy Water, and hopefully that's enough to pick up the KO. I do see an Iron Head come out from the Sandslash, so hopefully we don't flinch this turn. That would be super annoying, which we do. Of course we flinch. And Snorlax goes for the Facade into the Tapu Fini. We do manage just to hang on. Everyone takes a round of heal and damage apart from that Sandslash. And we restore a little bit of health back with our Fini. So I think we're going to have to just protect. Do I want to protect my Fini? Because my opponent could just protect the Sandslash. Because it's pretty obvious that I'm going to go for the T-Ball into it to pick up the KO. And once that's down, then so I could go for Muddy Water and then attack into the Snorlax and just start chipping that down, expecting my opponent to protect with the Sandslash. But what's the risk of that is just taking an Iron Head and going down, but then we will get rid of the Sandslash, so I think I'm going to do that. And I will just go for Muddy Water, and I'm going to just go for another T-Bolt into the Sandslash. Sandslash actually just goes for an Iron Head, so I could have actually got away with a Protect there. The Snorlax will probably go for another Facade, I would imagine. We'll get a T-Bolt off and pick up the KO on that Sandslash. The main thing is at least Garchomp now has an easier time coming in, and the Snorlax goes for the Facade, so we should proc my Citrus Berry here. It's not even doing that much damage, so that's fine. So we've still got our Citrus Berry intact with our Vikavolt, and we're both down to our last two Pokemon. At least the synergy between Vikavolt now and Garchomp's nice. I can freely Earthquake without worrying about having to protect or anything with Vikavolt. And we see the Tapu Lele come in this last position. So I wonder if this is a Scarfed Lele. We are Salt Vest Garchomp, so we can survive a Moonblast at least. And I think what I'll do is just go for a Bug Buzz and a Poison Jab into the Lele. Hopefully that'll be enough to pick up the KO onto it. It isn't Scarfed, so we get the Poison Jab off. It's quite a bulky Lele though. We do pick up the Poison, luckily, so if we can get this move off with Vikavolt, we'll be sitting in not a bad position at all. So Lele goes for the Moonblast into Garchomp. We take that quite well. Get the Bug Buzz off, so hopefully this plus the Poison damage and the Hail damage will be enough to kind of get rid of it. Snorlax goes for the Facade into the Vikavolt. It will proc the Citrus Berry, but this Snorlax is going to be another thing to take down. Hail actually stops, but we are outspeeding the Tapu Lele, so that is a bit of a positive. So we can go for a... I'm going to go for an Earthquake with my Garchomp, and I'm just going to go for a... just going to go for a T-Bolt with into the Snorlax and start chipping that down. So we should pick up the KO if that Lele doesn't protect. I wouldn't think protecting it this turn anyway would make any difference, because it will just go down to the Poison damage next turn, and we'll just start working our way on that Snorlax. But it's not going to be easy. It's going to have a berry, so it's not going to be easy to take down at all. So we take out the Lele with the Earthquake, do a little bit of damage to that Snorlax. We will get the T-Bolt off and do a little bit. We'll probably proc the berry if it's holding one. Yeah. So we've got to do that damage over again and again. Oh. Snorlax goes for a Curse this time. Okay. So it is just powering itself up and bolstering those defenses as well. Okay. So I could start going for a Rock Slide, and flinching the Snorlax, because that might buy me enough turns to actually just start chipping it down. So I think I might do that. Hopefully we can get, yeah. So I'll go for a Rock Slide, and I'll just follow it up with another. See, the thing is as well, I've got to think about is he does have Facade. So what's the power difference between Bug Buzz and Thunderbolt? Let's have a quick look. That is 90, and Bug Buzz is 90. So they're doing about the same. So I think rather than go for a Thunderbolt, I'll just go for a Bug Buzz, because I don't want to paralyze it and just boost that Facade, the Facade's power. Because obviously, if you're affected by a status condition, then the Facade doubles in damage. So it would be over really super quick if we paralyze the Snorlax, pending fully paralyzed and things like that. We don't get the flinch. Snorlax gets the Facade off. And oh, it's a critical hit, so it is enough to pick up the KO onto the Garchomp. It might have been close without it, I don't know. The critical hit there might not have mattered. But this has just shown how bulky and super strong Snorlax is. I think we might be able to take another Facade from the Snorlax with our Vikavolt, even after the boost. So we'll go for a Bug Buzz into it again. I think it's going to take another 2 though, and the Snorlax just goes for the recycle, so we're going to need a big critical hit, really. A big crit, and then maybe another one. But the Aurora Veil has worn off now, so we will be doing a bit more damage. So we will go again for another Bug Buzz. Doing a bit more damage, but we're going to need a big critical hit next turn. If we survive, we do just. Oh, this is going to be so close. So, can Vikavolt get a huge critical hit? Come on. We had a bad one against this yesterday. If we can get one here, it might not even be enough to take out the Snorlax, but you've got to kind of keep your fingers crossed. So, we'll go for the Bug Buzz. Come on. Come on. Let's see. Bug Buzz. Crit, crit, crit. No, nowhere near. Crit would have probably taken it out though. And the Snorlax just picks up the KO with a Facade. So, that is that, unfortunately. Snorlax just proving to be too good in that situation. But good games to my opponent. That was a fun game, and I hope one that you guys enjoyed as well. It just goes to show though how good Snorlax can be when it's played well. It's just so bulky, and so with the recycle and the curse, I think Marcus, Statler, Yoshi won a regional in Germany. I've probably said this before about his team, but yeah, he was playing the curse recycle Snorlax on his team. I don't think he had Facade though, I'm not 100% sure on that, but it definitely puts in a lot of work, and it's so difficult to get rid of. But we will call that a day there, guys. So if you've enjoyed this episode, as always, leave a like on the video. It's really appreciated. Subscribe to the channel. As I say, I do have a team review video due to come out, so that'll be either tomorrow or Friday or Monday maybe, but probably before then. So subscribe to the channel, you'll get the daily updates for that, and expect another QR code showcase video later on today. So until tomorrow, guys, as always, I will just quickly say, if you've got any questions about the team, the QR code's in the description. So if you want to test it out, jump on the ladder, test that out, check out the link in the description. I'll take you to the page and you can follow the instructions and get the team and have a run with it on Showdown. It is super fun to use, but I will not drag this out any longer, and I will say my goodbyes, and you guys have a good evening, and until tomorrow I will see you later. So take care of yourselves, guys, and bye bye.